I thought it was important for me to take a moment and pause to allow you to consider whether you want to watch this video or not. It is pretty graphic. I am sharing my experiences working in hospice and getting to know the patient through the eyes of their family and through their experience, as well as what I have witnessed in the active dying process. So please be mindful that this can be triggering, and I don't want to stir up any pain that you may have. Listen, if you are still experiencing the pain of a discard, if you are still mourning the life that you thought you would have with a narcissist, the one that they promised you, that future faking, the illusion that they told you about, listen, I want to tell you this. You do not deserve that life. You don't want no parts of that. The wedding, the family, the home, till death do us part, especially that part, till death do us part. You want no parts of that. And if you are one person who is still in pain, I want you to listen to me real closely, because you could have been the spouse, the partner of this narcissist, and you would be going through this process with them. And I don't wish this on anybody. One thing that nobody can escape is death. Our day and time is written, and we don't know it until we actually know it. Dying is not an easy process. There are different stages in the death process. And let me just clarify that I am speaking on the natural progression and not a sudden death event. I mentioned to you before that I spent a lot of time in palliative and hospice care. I have been there through the dying process of some beautiful, beautiful souls. And I am going to be drawing on my experiences. You see, when it comes to death, the dying process starts well before death actually occurs. It's almost as though they know their time is coming. And this is for everyone, not just narcissists. They may not know that it's death, but they are aware of a change. And the person doesn't necessarily have to be sick. There is a physical, behavioral, and psychological change definitely taking place. Death is such a personal journey. And from what I have seen and being able to talk to families and hear them share stories about their loved one, I get to know the patient based on the information that is shared. I notice that dying mimics how they live their lives. Those who are graceful, they pass away dignified. And those who spend their lives causing terror to other people are terrorized in their last moments of life. So much so that families don't want to be there for that process, and they die alone. Well, not alone, but with a stranger, me. My voice is the last voice some of them hear before they take their last breath. Family and friends simply have nothing to give. And so sometimes, it's painful watching them struggle to find positive words to say about their dying narcissist. You find that they are so upset, and it affects them deeply when they realize that even at this point, there is no apology coming. And so they just have to, get their own closure from the narcissist that they love, because there is no closure coming from the narcissist. They will hold on to that until the end, until the wheels fall off. Generally, this process begins about 3 months before death actually happens. Within this time frame, the narcissist's sense of entitlement and jealousy grows, and the bitterness is so thick you can slice it with a sword. They are still manipulating, and this time they will use their age, health, and whatever illness that they are afflicted with. As their health declines further, they become aware of their mortality. They know that they are not God, and they are not everlasting, and that they are mere humans like all the rest of us. They rage at those who are around them and punish them for what they are feeling. Through these vile projections, they are so venomous. Now that you know Now that they know, now that they know that soon they will face the consequences of their life choices, they become fearful. And they express this by being even more venomous. I can't think of a word to express this, but they just become like they're extra, okay? That venom is on extra. How about that? For those who have children and family and friends around, they do whatever they can do to make these people feel obligated to do or perform tasks for them. The narcissists are this way until the end. During this period, they have a lot of nightmares and they have vivid dreams because okay, so when it comes to this point, even for other people, right? Non-narcissistic people, non-toxic people, they all have vivid dreams, but it's the type of dreams. You'll find that one person will tell you a story that is, or, they'll recount their dream and it's about beautiful colors and flowers and fields or seeing somebody that they loved or just saying, oh, my house is ready for me. This is not the same with a narcissist. They rarely ever tell you about what they dream. All you know is that they are screaming and they are fighting in their sleep as if to run away. And looking at the look of terror on their faces, it will terrorize anybody who is watching them. As time gets closer and their spirit begins the process of becoming alive, the physical body starts to die. And you find that with people, they begin to see people from their lives who have gone on, or, even pets. You hear them talk about these things. But from my observation, the narcissists don't get to have that peaceful experience or that, they don't get to see anything to look forward to. It's always reminders of their past and they are not proud of this. They are not happy about it. They are just fearful. And you want to ask them, you almost want to ask them, what do you see? But you also just want to mind your business because you may not be ready for whatever they share with you, but they rarely ever do. And so, you just know that what they're seeing is awakening something in them and they're just petrified. And as time inches closer, this could be a few weeks to even days. Some people will speak of wanting to go, right? This is just everybody, regular people. They speak of wanting to go and they'll say something like, they're waiting for me. Or you see their eyes light up because there's an eagerness to go. You see, like, they will say, oh, look up in the corner over there. Do you see that angel? Or they'll say, hey, they're here for me. Is my stuff ready? I've got to go. And, they'll let you know. Sometimes they will let you know, like at 2 o'clock, I am up out of here. And sure enough, at 2 o'clock, they will take their last breath. But it's just not so with a narcissist. And I'm going to keep it 100, right? A lot of times we talk and we joke about them, the scum of the earth and, these demons and devils, whatever we say about them. And we're just expressing our thoughts and our feelings. And we tell each other, no pity for the narcissist, all this and that. Don't let them, trick you into feeling sorry for them. But I'm going to be honest with you. When it's this moment, I am so pained for them. They are literally filled with terror and they will let you know. They will say, I don't want to go. Don't let them take me. And when you see that look in their eyes and they're trying to grab onto you and put you in front of whatever they see, it's difficult not to pity them. I'm just being honest. But I want you now to consider, is this the type of event that you want to experience with the one that you can't let go of, the one that you want to continue to love and wonder how they're doing with their new supply. The new supply, if they stick around this long, this will be them. It should not be you. And I'm just being honest. When you see that look in their eyes, a lot of times when we talk about the narcissistic stare and how crazy that stare is, how unforgettable it is. The narcissistic stare you can forget when you've seen the look of sheer terror in their eyes during the moments of fear in their dying process. You'll never forget that. It's because I believe that there's a thin veil between the natural and the spiritual, and it's slowly being revealed to them because, again, their spirit is becoming alive while the body dies. So they are not so concerned about what is going on around them, but what is in front of them. The veil is torn. And now they are beginning to experience whatever is in store for them. And so you find like a few hours or a few days or even hours before death are even more agonizing. The spirit is even more awake and the flesh has advanced in the dying process. And as the body's oxygen saturation levels begin to decline, the body starts to fight. And it's in my mind that this is truly a fight in the separating of the spirit and the physical flesh. Doctors will always tell you that this is nothing more than the body's oxygen levels declining, and they'll say that this is why they're having hallucinations, this is why they're picking at their clothes, this is why they're trying to jump out the bed. But truth be told, no, I just don't believe that. I mean, it could be, but I'm just saying, like, if you're in tune with the spiritual world and if you're in tune with what's happening around you and you're sensitive in those areas, you know that there is an awakening because the spirit is becoming alive. And so their jerking reactions, I mean, like, to watch some of them, I remember one was literally trying to climb out of the bed, but this person was already in the unconscious state. You know, there's a time when they're awake and they can communicate with you, but there's a time when they slip into like a slumber that they don't wake up from. They may still be reactive, they may still scream, but they will still try to climb out of the bed and run. It's an experience, okay? So again, they may jerk and they're really just trying to get out of bed and run. And at this point, like I said, they've slipped into consciousness. So again, for other people, this is very graceful and they'll just slide on right through real peacefully and it's all beautiful. So this is why I truly believe that the narcissist experiences karma on this side of death in their final moments. It's in the dying process because they're denied that peaceful death. They have no control over what they are experiencing. And now the part of them that truly matters, their spirit, is fully awake. And so now they know what is in store for them, whatever that is. And, you know, like I said, for some people, they may just experience this for a brief period of time. But from what I've seen and, you know, just from my experiences and sharing it with other people in palliative and hospice care, it's always the ones who are without family. It's always the ones whose families are expressing them to be highly toxic, narcissistic, who are by themselves, who have the roughest moments. You may find that they experience prolonged hours or a couple of hours, but sometimes they do get a good amount, maybe 6 hours of peace and quiet, and there's nothing going on, and it's just like, okay, finally it stopped, it's over. And then suddenly out of nowhere, a piercing scream just takes over and it starts up all over again. For a lot of people, they just calm down, especially within the last 18 to 12 hours of life. They will be totally calm and nothing. But this is not so for the narcissist. They fight to the very end. And yeah, it's crazy, but you know, families do not want to be there. And it's just crazy because the moment comes and they fight it, like I said, to the very last breath. They will fight it to the very last breath. And then, you know, as time goes by, after they've passed away, and you get to reconnect with the family and just see how the family is doing, and you're checking up on the family, and they will tell you something like, oh, you know what he did? Do you know what she did? You will not believe. And the narc would have screwed them one last time through the will. And it's almost like, you know, they're laughing from the other side of the grave. And then I remember the moments when I was like feeling so sorry for them. And now I'm seeing that, you know, that the narc promised the family this, told them this, and the will is something totally different. And it breaks families apart because of the way property is now being shared or divided, especially when they're wealthy. So please don't ever wish that your life ended with that narcissist that you were in love with, because if you got out, you were the lucky one, because it does not get better. And you want to be able to be with somebody that you know, with the person that you love to the end. That's what till death do us part is, to the final moments, to be there, to experience that. Because for some people, it is a beautiful transition and it makes you wonder about, oh, okay, what's really out there. But for these ones, listen, if I had to make a choice, if I had to come to a conclusion based on what they were saying, I would be petrified.